So what's good, everybody? This is Crazy J, and I want to welcome you guys to Crazy J's World. So I want to start off with the Just for Today, living the program, and then I'm going to talk about a couple things. So, just for today, living the program. Tell yourself, just for today, my thoughts will be on my recovery, living and enjoying life without the use of drugs and alcohol. Just for today, I will have faith in someone in NA, AA who believes in me and wants to help me in my recovery. Just for today, I will have a program. I will try to follow it to the best of my ability. Just for today, through NA and AA, I will try to get a better perspective on my life. Just for today, I will be unafraid. My thoughts will be on my new associations, people who are not using and who have found a new way of life. So as long as I follow that way, I have nothing to fear. So that's a really good thing, the nothing to fear, because, we have a lot to fear when we're first getting sober. Today, I wanted to talk about the first 30 days, the first 30 days of recovery. But before I get into that, I wanted to bring this up. So I started watching this podcast just before, a recovery podcast. This guy, I'm going to say the name, Rise Above. You guys might even heard of it. He has 114,000 subscribers. And that's so amazing that someone who can speak about recovery can have such a following like that. Like, I'm not jealous. I'm proud of for him. That's so awesome. I have to finish watching. I started watching it because I'm trying to get some ideas on how to make my podcast better. His editing's better. He's probably been doing it for a lot longer. I'm sure a lot longer than I have. To have that many followers or subscribers and to be doing what he's doing, he's better equipment. And that's really awesome. I'm hoping someday I can get there. I upgraded my equipment somewhat. I'm recording this on my phone because I'm having problems with my computer for some reason. It just keeps freezing up on me. I don't know what's going on. So even if I have to, I'll just record them with my phone. I have an iPhone, so the camera's pretty good. And then I'll just edit it with the computer and just put them up. But yeah, I want to start watching more podcasts of recovery stuff on YouTube and whatever, because I want to learn how to do this better. There's so much in recovery that needs to be shared with people. It's not a one person thing. You have to give it away to receive. That's a big thing. You have to give this away to receive it. And by people doing these podcasts and going out of their way to do that, they're giving it away and they're receiving it back. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to give it away so I can receive it back. I want to make this into something. And, it's starting slow. I've only been doing this for I think 3 weeks, maybe a month. And it's slow. And I understand that. It's going to take time for this to get to where it needs to be. I know that. And I'm proud of what I've accomplished already. I put out a couple episodes already, I think like 12 or 13, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing this because I need to get this out there. And I would love to have people, start commenting. I want people to please like, subscribe, comment, and share on my stuff. If you share it, it gets out there for people to see it. And if you subscribe, it helps the algorithm, I guess, of YouTube get the videos out there more. It's just ways to get this content out there. I'm going to try to, eventually maybe figure out somewhere else I can do this so it's a little bit better because, you guys see the background of my bedroom, and I get that it's not that professional. I'm not professional yet. I'm an addict. You go with what you have. I'm a recovering addict, so you have to go with what you have. So I just wanted to, talk about that and just address that. That's awesome that what he's doing and all the other ones that are out there that, celebrities I know go on, some of them. And I'm not saying I'm ever going to have a celebrity on mine. I don't know that. I don't know what's going to happen with this. All I could do is just keep making the content and see what happens and see if people out there start watching me and get interested in what I have to say, So I want to thank everybody who's out there, who's actually listening to this. I appreciate you so very much. And, you are the people that can get this out there more by, sharing my content and just keep listening. I'm on TikTok also, but I'm not sending this on TikTok. I'm just going on TikTok and talking the shorts that I put on YouTube. So it's nothing crazy, where I'm making the podcast on TikTok. I'm not doing that. I'm doing it on YouTube. It's on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So yeah, you can even listen to it on Spotify if you want. You don't even have to, you just won't see the video. You'll just get the audio part, which is cool. I've listened to some of it. It's pretty cool. I got a lot to learn in this podcasting business. I know I do. Like I said, I'm just starting out. But I just want to thank everyone who's supporting me. And a lot of people keep telling me, man, you got to keep doing this. Do not stop. So I'm not going to stop. I don't want to stop. I'm enjoying this. Like, this is actually awesome that I actually get to do this. Like, I get to talk about recovery, which I love so much. I love, and I'm going to say it again, I love being sober. And yeah, the one lady I just watched on the podcast, there are some days in recovery when it's boring. It's not every day is great in recovery. Like, don't think, you get sober and every day is just going to be magical, because you're going to have days where they're not. There's going to be days in recovery where they're hard. You could have years sober and all of a sudden you're just having a really hard day and you don't know why. You don't know what's going on. You think God's like let you go, or your higher power. You wonder where they are. They're there. You're a person. You're human. You're going to have bad days in recovery regardless. Not every day is peachy creamy. It just doesn't work like that. It's not recovery. It's not life. It's not a movie. Maybe in a movie every day in recovery or a show is great. I mean, look at the show Mom, for instance. They always went through something. It was a comedy. I understand that. But that was a great show. They always went through something and they found a way to figure it out, but it was a comedy. So, I mean, this recovery thing takes time. That's the topic of the podcast today, is actually the first 30 days. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because that's a big part of, right in the beginning when you're trying to get sober and, you're going through your first 30 days of this. And everybody's different in their first 30 days, you know what I mean? Before I do that though, I wrote another poem and I wanted to read it. I'm trying to start writing more. My new computer's pretty cool. I got it over a month ago, and it has Microsoft Word. I got an HP OmniBook 3. I like it. It's not a bad computer at all. I think it's pretty good. It's good for now. I might get a MacBook maybe down the road, to go on my iPhone, because then I can connect it, because I really can't connect them because they're two different things. But, yeah, no, I've been writing stuff on there. I'm trying to put more work into this podcasting thing. I'm trying to get a format down. I'm trying to figure it out. And I will. It's going to take me time. Just be patient with me. This will get better as time goes on. It's going to take some time, but it will get better. I promise you that. And I got my microphone hooked up to my phone. I got this the Vocaster one thing, and I'm hoping the audio is working on here. I mean, I can hear myself talking. I'm hoping it's recording it. I mean, it's plugged into my phone. I really hope this is working. So the poem I called it Recovery of the Heart, and I wrote it, I'd say like 2 hours ago, and I wanted to share it with everybody. I want to know what you guys think. I want comments about it. I really want to know what people think about it. I want to know what my other one, Addiction of the Mind. I want to know what you guys think about that one. I read that too. So here it goes. Recovery of the Heart. Recovery is God. Recovery is power. Recovery is the pillar of the matter. Recovery stays. Recovery grows. Recovery helps you to see what is below. Recovery heals. Recovery helps. Recovery battles your demons in your hell. Recovery is good. Recovery is health. Recovery is the pain. Recovery is what makes you great again. Recovery comes. Recovery knows. Recovery balances what keeps you in the mode. Recovery is love. Recovery is hope. Recovery is what keeps you afloat. Recovery is the light. Recovery is the mold. Recovery is without the pain of the old. Recovery is the new. Recovery is the way. Recovery is what we can say. Recovery. I hope you guys like that. I wrote it. It was in my head. I think I want to start writing more. I really do. I want to get into this a lot more with the writing. So I wanted to just, read that to you guys. And I hope you like it. It's just something I just threw together. But all right, so let's talk about the first 30 days. So I remember my first 30 days. I remember the first day. So I got sober on my birthday, February 19th, 2017. And I remember I used the day before and I was going to get on Suboxone, which helped. It did. You could think what you want about Suboxone, but it helped. And I couldn't go to the doctor till the day after my birthday. So as an addict, you're like, all right. And I could have used on my birthday. I could have. But you know what? I wanted my birthday to be my sobriety date so much because it meant so much to me of being sober on my birthday that I said, you know what? I'm going to be dope sick and I'm going to just deal with it on my birthday. And it was hard. That was so hard. I remember I was throwing up. I couldn't sleep that night because, I had the shakes because, you get the restless leg syndrome when you're withdrawing from opiates. It was the worst birthday. One of the worst birthdays, actually. It wasn't the worst birthday because I've had a couple of worse birthdays, but it was a really bad birthday. And then the next day I got into Suboxone and I didn't start going to meetings in my first 30 days because when I got into Suboxone, I didn't start the program, the outpatient thing I started doing until April. So I wasn't even able to get to meetings. I just started getting on. I started taking my Suboxone like I was supposed to, which I still do. And I started feeling better because the Suboxone started working. You know what I mean? So that was helping me. And I remember I had the AA book. I had actually both. Yes, I had the NA book and the AA book. That's right. So I started reading the NA book because I was, I'm more of an addict. I definitely drank a lot, but if I had to put one for the other, I'm definitely more of an addict than an alcoholic. But I am an alcoholic. Absolutely. I have a problem with alcohol. I couldn't even go out and drink today because I couldn't drink. If I drank one alcohol drink, it's going to turn into me blacking out. So there's no point drinking. Like, I don't want alcohol in my body. I don't want to mess with it. I don't need to. There's no reason to. So we're going to stay away from alcohol. Some people can. Some people are addicts. They get sober and they go out and they drink and they stay away from drugs. I mean, some people can do that. I can't. I don't know how to. I remember there was times when we would go out to dinner or whatever, and I would get a beer, or I'd have like 2 beers, and I start getting that buzz, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm going to get, and then we have to leave, and I can't get any more beer. Like, I'm not allowed to drink anymore. And I remember being so mad because I couldn't drink anymore. Like, oh, my drinking's done. Like, you're telling me I'm done drinking? Oh my God, I would be so mad because I couldn't have more alcohol. That's how sick of this disease it is. Like, the disease was saying, no, Chris, you need more. You need a lot more. Because, one or two, one is just not enough for you. One is too many for me, and one is not enough. One's not enough, and one is too many. What is it saying? One's not enough, and I forget what the saying is. I can't remember right now, but there's a saying. It's like one's not enough, and 1,000's too many. I don't remember what it is. I've been in recovery a long time. I should know what this is. I'm sorry. But I remember I wasn't going to meetings in the beginning, and, I don't do meetings as much now. Not everybody needs meetings like that. So I'm not saying meetings are bad, because meetings are not bad. Meetings are great. Like, you should absolutely do meetings. Especially early in especially your first 30 days, you should be hitting as many meetings as you can, because meetings are going to put you around people that are sober. It's going to put you around good people. It's going to put you around people that are going to help you understand what the program of recovery is. Because you trying to do it yourself the 30 days, you don't have a good chance of making 30 days. It's a proven fact. I'm not saying that to hurt anybody out there who's listening. I'm saying it because your first 30 days, you're a new fish to this. Like how they call you new fish in prison. You're a new fish to recovery. You're going to struggle, man. You're going to have those days in the first 90 days, in the first 6 months, in the first year. The first year is a vital part of your recovery. Like, getting that first year is tough. Some people it's not, but most people it is. My first year was tough. I had a hard first year. I didn't even listen to music my first year. My first year in recovery, I wouldn't even listen to music because every song that I heard, if I listened to it, made me think about using. It was bad. Like, I couldn't even, because I used to listen to a lot of music when I would drink and do drugs. I like music. I listen to a lot of music now. And listening to music, man, it made me think about the drugs. So yeah, my first 30 days, man, I didn't go to meetings. I didn't start going to meetings until April. I started the program and I met the guy who became my sponsor, Ken. And I think I was going to the thing for about a week, and he was like, yo, I started talking to him because he was in the class with me. That's how I met him. We were in the same class together because there was 2 classes a day. One was in the morning, and then one was in the afternoon, and I was in the morning class. So he wound up being in there. He was a truck driver. He drank. He was in his 50s. He drank from when he was I think he told me he started drinking when he was 9. Yeah, 9 years old. He was a straight up alcoholic. He didn't really mess with drugs. He didn't do drugs really. He tried drugs here and he didn't really like drugs. He liked alcohol. So he started drinking at a very young age, and he was a truck driver. He was away from his family. I'm not going to tell his story because I don't know a lot of his story. He was a very enclosed person. So he only told me things I guess he wanted me to know, but he was a good guy because he saved my life. If I didn't meet Ken, and for him to take me all those meetings that he did, and that's why I'm saying meetings are good, I don't think I'd be sober today. I don't think I would have made it past the year. I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have. And I hate to say that, but I don't think I would have. So yeah, I didn't start going to meetings until a couple months after I was sober. But man, when I started going to meetings, I started going to a lot of meetings. So the first 30 days, man, I recommend you hit meetings, man. Go to meetings. Meet people in the program. Start getting acquainted with people. I'm not saying get a sponsor. They say go out, you're sober, go hit 90 meetings in 90 days, get a sponsor, A sponsor is a big thing, okay? So when you pick a sponsor, this is a person you're going to have to tell your garbage to. You're going to have to sit here and talk to this person on the phone. You're going to have to be around this person. This person is here to help you, okay? But the problem is this person is someone you have to you have to trust this person. You have to want to tell your garbage to this person. Okay. So if you just meet this person for the first time and the first meeting you go to and he starts sponsoring you or she starts sponsoring you, which I recommend women get a woman sponsor and men get a men sponsor. Don't enter. It's not good. They call it 12-stepping because a lot of times you start hooking up with that person. It happens. It doesn't end well a lot of the times, but you know what? I hope you do meet somebody in recovery, because if you meet someone in recovery, you guys have a lot in common, but we're not going to talk about that right now. That's another talk for relationships when I do a relationship one. But yeah, man, when you go to meetings, man, you start going to meetings your first day out, go to meetings and get to know people in the rooms, get to feel the rooms. Let God or your higher power, because you already have it. You're born with higher power. Everybody has their own higher power. Everybody's being watched over by something. Let your higher power do the work for you. Open your heart, open your mind. Let recovery start seeping into you. Okay. So read the readings when you're there. Listen. And another thing is, and a lot of people have a hard time in the beginning, opening their ears and listening to what's being said. A lot of people's brain is like scatterbrain. It's all over the place. They just start not listening to what's actually going on in the meeting. And then the meeting's over and they're like, oh, I didn't get nothing out of the meeting, because you're not listening. You have to open your ears when you're in a meeting, especially in your first 30. Your first 30 days, I feel, are the most crucial part of your recovery, because if you can make it past 30 days, you can get 60 days. And then if you can get 60, you can get 90 days. The whole thing is staying sober just one day at a time. Just let that sink in. It's easy. You just stay sober today. You just have to do this today. Like, I only got to stay sober today. I was already sober yesterday. You know what I mean? And I'm not sober tomorrow yet, because tomorrow's not here. So I just have to stay sober now, just right now. That's it. I stay sober now, I'm good. So yes, and the first 30 days, man, you're going to go through different changes. Your body's going to start healing from all the crap you were doing to it. Like if you were using a lot of drugs, your body's going to start healing. Within hours of stopping, your body already starts healing. They say, like smoking, when you stop smoking, like 4 hours after you start smoking, I think your lungs already start trying to heal themselves. It's amazing what your body can do. So you're probably going to feel like crap. You're going to either be withdrawing from alcohol, or you're going to be not having drugs, or you're going to be withdrawing from heroin, or unless you got a methadone or Suboxone, then you won't, but you're going to be feeling some type of way. And the easier, softer way is going back out. That's what they say. The hard way is going and doing meetings and doing the work, doing the recovery. There's eventually a time you're going to get on that pink cloud, they call it the pink cloud. It's when you're so high up on recovery and you're like, this is great, and you're having a great time and all this stuff is going perfect. And then it stops and you're like, what happened? Why is it like slower now? Like, it might get boring. Recovery might start getting boring because now you're off that pink cloud. But listen to me. Here's a word of advice. If it starts getting boring, don't stop being sober. Let it still keep working. Recovery, man, it's a lot of work. It's not just like someone taps you on the head with a magic wand and you're just healed. You're never going to be healed. Unfortunately, we don't ever get totally healed, but we heal. So as you're recovering, you're healing. You're always going to be healing because you did so much damage to your brain and your body and the people around you and the things you did, that it takes time to fix them. So you're going to be doing a lot of, amends. You're going to be doing a lot of meetings if you're going to meetings, which I recommend. You're going to be doing a lot of things to start working on yourself to become a better person and a better image of you. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to become a better image of yourself. And that's what happens in recovery. Recovery slowly makes you turn into this person that you really are. Because drugs and alcohol make you an ugly person that you're not. I've seen so many good people that were addicts, that before they were addicts and then they became addicts, how much of a difference they were. They were so different. I watched a lot of my friends who got sober, and the first 30 days was tough for them. The first 30 days is the hardest of recovery. When you get that 30-day coin or chip or whatever, man, you feel so good because you feel like you accomplished something, which you did. You accomplished 30 days of sobriety. Every day we're sober is a miracle. Remember that. Every day you're sober is a miracle. Every day. I'm sorry if I'm looking weird because I'm not used to using my phone. I'm realizing I'm looking this way because I'm talking to the mic. I might have to use the table one. I might try the table mic out because I can always move my phone over if I have to. I'm just going to keep going with it. Sorry if I'm breathing a lot. I suffer from anxiety. I told you all that. So I feel good, but I still have anxiety. I get still some anxiety when I do these videos because I don't know if people are listening to me and they're just thinking I'm jabbing around. Like, this guy's just talking out his ass. I'm really not. I've been there and done that. I can see you. I see, So yeah, man, the first 30 days, So let's see. My first 30 days, like I said, I got on Suboxone the day after my birthday, and I started doing the readings out of the book because I wasn't going to meetings. I didn't know any. I was upstate New York. I didn't know anybody. So how I was getting drugs. All right, I'm going to tell everybody. So my mom wound up getting thyroid cancer. Her neck right here. If you watch this video, her neck was swollen. It was swollen for a couple of years, and we kept telling her to go get it looked at, and she wouldn't do it. She was scared. All right. So I was drinking one night and I got really drunk and I got in a big fight with my youngest brother and he cracked me over the back of my head with my mug that's behind me. It's Sons of Anarchy mug. It's hard. And he cracked me and I had to go get staples in my head. Now, this is a night of drinking. Okay. So yeah, I was drinking and I got in a big fight with my younger brother because we were drinking together and he cracked me over and then my grandma wanted me to leave. I didn't leave, but she was so mad at me again for drinking, but I had to go get staples in my head. So when I went to get the staples out of my head, I made my mother go to the clinic with me because I wanted her to get her throat looked at. I was tired of her saying no because there was something wrong and I was scared my mother was going to die. I don't have the best relationship with my mother, but I love my mother. And finally she went and she found out they made her go to the hospital because it was only a clinic. They couldn't really do much. And she found it was thyroid cancer. So they started her on chemo and then she had to get, I think, 3 or 4 surgeries on it. It was a tumor in her thyroid, but they put her on pills, on the opiate pills. Instead of giving her the blues that are 30 milligrams, they gave her the 15s. They're green. The green like my lights, like my hoodie. They were green. And her and my dad and my brother, Michael, my middle brother, not my youngest brother, he just drank a lot. And and then she was getting those and morphine. Well, we started all using. So the cycle started again. Now I was getting pills upstate New York where I couldn't get pills. I met a guy up there, a young kid. He was probably in his late 20s. He did pills. And I wanted to become friends with him. He lived down the street from my grandma, so we would trade with him and get other stuff. But that's how I got hooked on opiates again upstate New York this last time. And I finally got, so my mom and all them my mom was still getting the pills. They finally cut her off of them. And she got on Suboxone herself, and I'm proud of her. You know, she quit smoking cigarettes. She got on Suboxone. I don't know if she's still on it. I don't talk to my mom a whole lot. I need to start talking to her more, but I don't talk to her that much. But so for a year and a half, it was just pills and drinking. Pills and drinking. And I'm like, man, I'm upstate New York and I'm back into this mess. How did this happen again? So finally, someone told my mom that I wanted this lady, Christy, her name was. She was already on Suboxone. And one night I was drinking and doing pills and I was crying to her that I didn't want to live like this anymore. Like I was so tired of this life. Like I had enough. Like I couldn't do it anymore. Tried getting sober 7 times. And I just had enough. Like I was like, I don't know. I don't see my kids. They're in New Jersey. I'm up here. I'm miserable. I hated up here. I didn't know people. Like I didn't have any friends. I had nothing up there. And I finally just was crying one night that I didn't even know she was on Suboxone. She was a friend of my brother because my brother, who's gay, got an apartment with his boyfriend in Corning, New York. When I started going over there, and she lived next door, and she would come over and hang out. And you know, I'd go over there and hang out a bunch of times, and I would drink every time I was there. And I just kept spill beans to her about stuff. And finally, she said one day to my mom, like, "Does Chris want to be? What do you get on Suboxone?" And my mom was like, "I don't know. Why don't you ask him?" And finally, the lady Christy did, and I said yes. I said, how do I get out of this addiction? I don't want to be like this anymore. Like I know I'm always going to be an addict, but I don't want to be an active addict anymore. I don't want to live like this. Like I thought about killing myself, like everything. I didn't want to live like that anymore. So she helped me find a doctor. And like I said, I couldn't go until the day after my birthday. So I decided to withdraw on my birthday. So again, I got on the Suboxone and the first 30 days were rough for me. That's what I'm saying. The first 30 days are how you make it. If you go to meetings every day, you can go to one meeting every day. Just go to a meeting every day for your first 30 days and you will see the difference and you'll actually start appreciating recovery. But I didn't do that. I didn't have meetings. I just had the Suboxone and I started reading the NA book because I got the NA book years ago in Jersey when I tried getting sober another time. I started going to NA and I was sober for a year and a half, but I kept writing my sobriety on the calendar for everybody. Like I was doing it for everybody else. I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for my ex-wife and her family because they just didn't like me. Some of her family liked me, but her mom did not like me. Her stepfather didn't like me. Like I had a tough relationship with my ex-wife's family. Very, very tough. It made the using even more because I would go out and get high more because of them, you know, and then my family and just the toxicness that I've had in my life. So basically, I started Suboxone and I just started reading the readings in the NA. I did the NA book. I had both books because like I said, I tried getting sober from both and I went to AA and NA. So I had the AA book, the NA book. The NA book really helped me. I wanted to be sober. I knew that I did. I just didn't know why I wanted to be sober. I just knew I didn't want to use drugs anymore, but not having my kids in my life was really hard. Because the first 7 months, man, of my recovery was tough. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to be sober. I was just sober. I just wasn't using, and I was just taking Suboxone, and I was going to meetings. But I wasn't letting the meetings work. You see why I said you got to open your brain and let the meetings come in and let them heal you where you need to be healed. You need to be healed in your heart. You need to be healed in your brain. And it happens. And it's not going to happen to everybody in 30 days. That's why I'm saying this. You got to keep going to meetings, but you can feel a difference in 30 days. 30 days is such a big step to going forward and getting years and years and years of sobriety. I mean, look at me. I'm going to have 9 years and 6 months tomorrow. And if I didn't stick with it those first 30 days, I wouldn't have this. I would have blew it again like I did the last 7 or 8 times I tried again. So, you know what I mean? Like, the first 30 days are going to be hard. They're going to be probably one of the hardest times of your recovery because you're going to be feeling some type of way. You're going to have a lot of emotions built up from things that happen, from people you hurt. You're going to start thinking about things that you did, things that happened to you, people you hurt. Then you're going to hear in meetings, oh, you got to start making amends to people. You got to do the 12 steps. You don't finish the 12 steps in 30. I remember I went to a meeting and this guy said, oh, I did the 12 steps in a week. How? There's no way. He wound up getting a year because he wound up doing something and he got drug court or something upstate New York when I was going to meetings, and he got a year. And I really thought the way he was walking around, he really played the game. He was really making people think he wanted to be sober. He got a year. He got off drug court that day. 2 days later, we found out he was out drinking and he got in a car accident. That's karma because he just played the system. Yeah, man. 30 days, man. It's the hardest. I feel it's the hardest. Maybe other people might say it differently, but 30 days, man, is tough. It's tough to get it because you're not used to, especially if you drink every day or you're doing drugs every day. If you're a real alcoholic addict, man, going 30 days without anything is tough. It gets hard, you know, but recovery gets easier. It just gets easier the more you let it work for you. The more you let it work for you. You know, if you let recovery in, right? Recovery is beautiful. It starts cleansing your brain. It starts cleansing your body. Your higher power starts working. Your higher power starts doing amazing things right from the beginning. Sometimes you have that cloud, that like dark cloud over your head. Like, you know, like in the cartoons when they have like the cloud overhead with the rain coming down. You have that a lot of times in the first 30 days. That's why they say the first 30 days is the most important. The first 90 days, actually, I'm wrong, is the most important, they say. The first 3 months is like a pivot part of your recovery. If you could stay sober for the first 90 days, because they say 90 meetings in 90 days, that means go to meeting every day for 90 days straight. And people say, I didn't do it. I didn't do it because I didn't start going to meetings after I had over 2 months. The first 2 months, I just stayed home. I took my Suboxone like I was supposed to. I tried to change things. That's another thing in your first 30 days. The first day you're sober, start changing the way you do things. Change when you get up. You wake up whatever time, start changing things in your life right away to better yourself. Stop hanging out with the people you used to hang out with. People, places, and things is a big thing. You can't get sober your first 30 days and still hang out with the same drug addicts or go to the same bar and hang out with the same drunks. You can't go to the bar. You can't hang out with the drunks anymore you used to because you're just going to start drinking it. Like the saying is, the more you go sit in the barbershop, the sooner or eventually you will get a haircut. You sit in the barbershop, you keep going in the barbershop, you're eventually going to get a haircut. Unless obviously you're bald and have no hair. That's just a joke. It was supposed to be funny. I don't know if you guys thought it was funny. I don't know. I'm not a comedian. I mean, I wanted to be. I wanted to try stand up. Anyway, you got to let recovery. You got to change people, places, and things. You got to change your day. And another thing I can tell you about staying sober every day is you got to stay busy, especially in the beginning. I mean, as you get time, I mean, there's days I kind of sit around and just kind of chill because I know where I am in my recovery. I know that if I do that, I'm not going to go use. But in the beginning, man, try to stay as busy as you can. Go for walks, start exercising. If you can take more hours at work to kind of just keep your mind off, do that. Go to meetings. Go to as many meetings as you can. There you go. That's a great thing. You want something to do because you're bored, because you're not using anymore? Hit 10 meetings a day then, as many as you need to. I know there's states. I know New Jersey has a lot of meetings. New York had a nice amount. I feel like New Jersey definitely has more. New Jersey is a faster state than where I was at. Upstate. I live in Monmouth County, New Jersey. I'm by the ocean or the bay, whatever it is. And where my grandma lives, you can get there in 4 4 hours, maybe 4.5, but it used to take 5.5. You know, they made roads over last year. I mean, my grandma bought this house when I was 7. I'm 44, so things have changed in the last however many years. So you can get there in like 4.5 hours. But she was like really upstate New York, you know, and in the boonies. That's right. She lived in the boonies. So I was living in the freaking boonies. And where I live now is like kind of like the city suburbs. You know, it's like the suburbs in the city, you know, because we live by New York City. So it's faster here and it's a lot slower there, man. People are different up there. You know, I got a lot of tips from people up there and in the bars and everything. I definitely didn't fit in up there. I'm just a different person. But yeah, man, there's meetings online, intherooms.com. I forgot about that. You can go on your computer, on your phone, and you can type in intherooms.com. I'm going to repeat that one more time for anybody listening who can't get to a meeting and they want a meeting. intherooms.com. You go on there and there's meetings for cocaine, alcohol, weed, sex, gambling. There's everything. Kratom. There's meetings for everything. And some are every hour, some are every other hour. I was doing them online because I just didn't have time. I was working 2 jobs, so I didn't have a lot of time to, you know, go to actual meetings. So I would do them online, you know, and I need to get back into meetings myself. I feel I do. Not saying that because I'm not going to meetings really, I'm going to use. No. Everybody's recovery is different. Remember that. Some people need a meeting every day. Some people need a meeting or 2 a week. Some people don't need to go to meetings as much because they know they're in a good place in recovery. Everybody's recovery is different. You're going to get sober and stay sober differently than someone else did. Like people aren't going to get sober like how I got sober. Everybody gets sober differently because everybody's different. But we're all the same in the recovery triangle. Okay, if that makes sense. That's what the AA triangle is, how it's 3 points. It's because that's how we are. We're the 3 points. We're all connected in a certain way. We all have a different story. We all have a different reason why we got to recovery, but we're all the same in recovery. And we love each other. And like I said in one of my other episodes, you're not going to like everybody you meet in a meeting. So here's a little thing. If you go to a meeting your first day, this is your first day sober, and you run into somebody you don't like, keep going to meetings. Maybe not go to that meeting, or if you go to that meeting, you have to go to that meeting. Just stay away from that person, and eventually that you might even start liking that person. You're not going to like everybody in recovery in the meetings. You're just not like you. So the saying is, you don't have to like everybody, but you have to love everybody because everybody's in there for the same reason. Everybody's there to get sober. You know, that's the main point of going to meetings is to get sober. So, I mean, if you're listening to this is the first 30 days, man. It's like the first 30 days are going to be tough. You're going to go through a lot of changes, man, in your recovery, like a lot. And you're just going to have to you're going to have to let recovery pour its love into you. You know, if you don't have the literature, get as much literature as you can. I don't recommend getting a sponsor your first 30 days. They always say, get a sponsor. As soon as you go to 90 means 90 days, get a sponsor. I think that's one of the worst advices you can give somebody, especially in the first 30 days. Don't worry about a sponsor yet. Worry about you going to meetings the first 30 days and learning what recovery is for you. Okay, for you. Because you don't need to worry about a sponsor yet. A sponsor will come in time. Because as you start going to meetings, you're going to start learning people. You're going to start probably seeing a lot of the same people over and over again. So that's what's really good about meetings. You're going to keep seeing the same people and you're going to start connecting with somebody more than you realized in the beginning. And then when you start connecting with that person, if they have time and they can sponsor, pick them as your sponsor. You got to pick a sponsor that you connect with. Your sponsor, you have to connect with this person because like I said, you're going to tell your dirty laundry to this person who's never going to say anything because it's all confidential. Like you're going to tell this person a lot of your business. You know, I tried sponsor and I was doing intherooms.com. I met this guy from Virginia and I started doing it. I told him I was on Suboxone. He didn't like that. And that was, I bought him the NA book, the AA book. I bought him the workbook that comes with it. I sent it to Virginia to him from upstate New York. Like I ordered him all this stuff. Right after he got the books, he stopped talking to me. But you know what? I wasn't mad at him. I love him for who he is. And you know what? He got literature because of me. And I hope he's still sober to this day. I don't hate on that guy. It just didn't work out. I didn't know him. He didn't know me. We rushed into it. I should never sponsored him. Maybe I wasn't even ready to sponsor. I mean, not everybody's going to be a good sponsor. I don't know if I would be. I mean, I think I would. I know a lot about recovery. I feel like enough to where I would be a decent sponsor. But yeah, man, the first 30 days, man, it's the rough patch. It's like going up the roller coaster and you're just waiting to get to the top to come down. Eventually, you're going to hit that top and come down. But the going up is the scary part, right? So, you know, when you first start going to meetings, it's the scary part. Wow, I'm new to this. I don't know anybody. Who are these people? And then you're going to start hearing stories that you can relate to. And you're like, wow. Like you're going to hear stories and you're going to be like, wow, I can relate to that guy or that girl. Like, wow, they've been through a lot of stuff that I've been through. Maybe this is where I belong. But a lot of times it doesn't happen right away. It takes time to keep going, to find this out, to find out that, yeah, there are people out there that are just like you. I thought I was the only one. We all think that. I honestly think we all think that. We all think we're the only one that has this problem. We're the only one who our life sucked and this happened to me and this happened to me and poor me. And that's another thing. You can't be poor me anymore once you get in recovery. You got to open up your ears and your eyes to what's going on. And you're going to see the magic of the program. The program's awesome, man. It's beautiful. It's genuine. Like everybody's 30 days is different. But the first 30 days it's amazing because you can start feeling the love right away. You start seeing things you didn't see. You just got to stay busy, man. That's another thing. Stay as busy as you can your first year. Because if you could make it a year, you're on a good track to, making it more and more because you got a year on your belt. You've been in the program for a year. You're learning the in and outs of it. You're learning what it's about. You probably have a lot of friends now in the program. You have a sponsor by now. You might, I don't recommend sponsoring people your first year. I would say get at least 2 years, maybe even more before you become a sponsor. Make sure you're in a good place in your recovery before you try to sponsor somebody else, especially a new person. I want to talk about sponsorship eventually. Yeah, man. Recovery is just a beautiful thing. And I can't wait to have like people on for interviews. I want to get some people on here who are in recovery to talk. I want to do interviews, man, because I feel like I bounce off people better when I'm with real people. Like, doing this by myself, I like doing it, but it's different because you're by yourself, so you're talking to a camera or you're talking to your computer or your phone. Like I can see myself what I'm doing. That's how I know if I'm not looking at the camera, and so I know what you guys are going to see when you watch it. You're not going to see this if you're listening to it, on Spotify. But yeah, I want to start really doing interviews, man. I might have my son's friend on. So he's trying to make music. Like I said, I'm going to have people on here that aren't addicts, that are they just want to talk about their life and they want people to listen, because this podcast is about recovery, life in recovery, and just life. So he wants to come on and I'm like, you know what? He's got ADHD like me, and he's just going to talk about things. We're just going to have fun. Like I'm actually going to try to have fun with it. I'm going to try to do better in my interview. I'm going to try to actually have fun with it. I was nervous when I did the one with Makai. It was the first one I ever did. I never did anything like that. I never recorded me sitting there talking to somebody about things that's going on in their lives, so it was weird. It was a little nerve wracking, but I got that one out of the way and I'm going to watch it again because I want to learn from what I did. I can picture right now in my head what I did and it's whatever. It's out there, check it out. You might like it. Who knows? Just watching that podcast earlier, man, like the guy's setup was so nice. Like it's just, I don't know. I got to learn how to edit better. Like I got to learn how to do this better. I need help with it. I need to find somebody who knows how to edit to help me do this. Like I really want to make this into something and I'm just going to keep making them like this for now. It's me doing my thing, it's me trying to get recovery out there. Like I said, there's a lot of podcasts out there, recovery. I didn't realize it. I didn't even see them all. Like there's a lot. You could probably go on Spotify and type in recovery podcast and find so many of them. There is a lot of. Sorry if you hear some background noise. I think my daughter has something playing. So if you hear it, I apologize. There's probably some background noise. Yeah, man, you matter. Remember that. You always matter. Whether you're new in recovery or you have 20 years in recovery, you always matter. Always remember there is another way. You don't have to die from this disease. We don't have to die from it. I lost so many friends from this disease. So I actually have 4 kids. I have 3 with my ex-wife that live with me. It's just me and my 3 kids. I have another child so I was sober actually when he was born, but I don't know him. I wasn't able to get in his life. It upsets me. Something I don't really like talking about, but his mom in 2021, I went to Vegas to see the Raiders. We weren't together or anything. She was with another guy. It was just, just didn't work out, but we weren't having a kid, but he was living with another family. Well, she wound up ODing in a hotel with the guy that she was dating and she died. And I found out the Raider game was Sunday night and I found out Monday because I went to Vegas from Friday to Friday. And then I found out that she passed away. What was that? Almost 5 years ago? This November will be 5 years. So I lost her to addiction. My best friend that I had when I was younger. He didn't die from addiction, but he was into addiction, and he wound up killing himself when we were younger. He didn't remember who I was. He got really messed up mentally, and his name was Dan Cassidy, and he got messed up, and he's not with us anymore. I always think, like, if me and him would have stayed friends forever, would I went down some of the roads I went down? I don't know. I miss him. I think about him. He was my best friend, so I lost my best friend to basically the drugs. I mean, he was probably on drugs when he did it. He was in a mental hospital. Yeah, he got really messed up. A lot of things happened to him. His mom passed away when he was 7. I met him, I think, when I was 9. So I never met his mom. I only knew his dad, but I think about him all the time, man. He was a great friend. He was my best friend, but I lost Tim. I lost the girl, Jill. I lost a lot of other people. I got sober, and then all these people that I knew started dying because the fentanyl was in the heroin. It got bad, and I'm glad I got sober at the right time, because if I would have not got sober when I did, I would have probably got heroin with fentanyl, and probably would be a statistic. You don't have to be a statistic today. You could be a recovery statistic, because the statistics of recovery, I was told years ago, was only like 7% of the world. Like, there's not a lot of people sober. There is a lot of people sober, actually. This is what's funny. So there is a lot of people sober, but the percentage of sobriety is low. Maybe now it might be like 13, maybe 15%. I mean, it's probably went up, I'm sure, a couple percentage since I heard that. I forget when somebody told me that. I don't remember how many years ago that was. And I was like, wow, 7%? That's not a lot. And I know there's a lot of sobriety. So to only have a 7% is just wild to me, and AAs and NAs all over the world. Like, the CA, which is Cocaine's Anonymous. You got MA, which is Marijuana's Anonymous. Like, there's a lot of, you got GA, Gambling's Anonymous. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of recovery things out there for people. But yes, your first 30 days is probably going to be one of the hardest. Your first 90 days is going to be hardest. That's why I say 90 meetings in 90 days, because it's tough. Recovery is not easy. It gets easier. It gets easier to stay sober as you get more time, because you start learning the program. You start learning what recovery has to offer. You start feeling better. You start looking better. You start doing better. You start having more energy. You start, I guess, sleep. I don't know if my sleep sucks. I have a hard time sleeping. I don't sleep good really at all. And I've tried medicine for it, and it doesn't work. I just deal with it. I don't know if it's for my ADHD or what it is, but yeah, my sleeping is bad. Today's as good as you make it. I love this cup because sorry about the vibration, guys. The microphone's on my desk, so somebody recommended putting the microphone off the desk, which I really want to do. I just don't have anything to put it on. Maybe if I use the other one that is the table and I can lift it up when I put stuff down, just pick it up. I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry about the sounds, but yeah, man, listen, man, you matter. You matter. I can't wait to have guests on to start talking to people about this. I printed a list out today of topics. I asked ChatGPT for some topics. I know people are using ChatGPT, and it gave me like 24. It gave me 24 topics, and it gave me some segments. Like, let's see. All right, here's one. Recurring segments. I'm going to do this one. It says 1 minute of hope, a short message for someone struggling today. So listen, if you're out there, you're struggling today, whether you're struggling to get sober, you're struggling to stay sober, you're struggling with your recovery. Remember, man, you only got to do it for 24 hours. You just got to do it. Reach out to somebody. If you have a sponsor, reach out to your sponsor. If you don't have a sponsor, go to a meeting. If you have a list of numbers from the meeting, call somebody on there. Reach out. Call before you do what you're going to do, because once you do what you're going to do, it's too late. You already did it. If you reach out before you do it, you can stop and not use and lose your sobriety. Like, it's possible. What I'm saying is everybody struggles, man. You're going to struggle in sobriety. Like I said, you can have 10 years in. Like, I struggle in sobriety sometimes. It happens. Sometimes it does. And the best thing to do is reach out or pick up your book. If you have your NA or AA book or your literature, read it. Go online, go to intherooms.com, go on there and go to a meeting, or go out to a meeting, or make a phone call, meet up somebody for coffee, reach out, because everybody struggles and you can keep it from struggling. You have to want to not pick up. Once you pick up, man, that's it. You picked up. If you're struggling out there, I'm sorry. And you can reach out to me, comment in my videos, say, listen, Crazy Jay or Chris, I'm struggling. I need help. What do I do? And I'll help you. I'll help you the best I can. You know what I mean? That's what I can do. I mean, I'm asking people to help me out because I'm struggling to get this out there. Like, see, I'm struggling too. I might not be struggling like with my addiction, but this is kind of struggling my addiction because I'm making this podcast about recovery and it's not really going anywhere. Excuse me. It's not really going anywhere right now. I know it's early. And everybody keeps telling me it's early, Chris. Just keep, and I'm gonna keep doing it regardless. I'm not stopping. I am not stopping. I'm gonna keep doing this. The right person will save me eventually. It will happen. And then maybe I can get help with getting a place to do my podcast where it's better, more professional, instead of just doing it in my bedroom. But you know what? I'm sorry. And what I'm asking for help is for people to share my videos, subscribe to my channel, like my stuff, get myself an algorithm on YouTube so it can be promoted so more people can see it. When they look up like recovery podcast, mine will pop up and they'll see it. You're struggling, man. Remember, you matter. You don't need to pick up that drug or that drink today. You don't need to. If you're getting, a burning desire or an itch to use, it will go away. It passes. That relapse mode, the relapse that you feel is coming on, it passes. It's only a craving. Like cravings pass. Sometimes they take a while, but they do. You don't have to pick up. You don't have to do it today. You can stay sober today. It's possible. You can do it. I believe you can do it. I believe in you. I have a lot of faith in you. I don't know you, but I believe in you because I love you, because you mean something. Remember that. We have to tell ourselves that sometimes. I even have to tell myself that sometimes. I'm lonely. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm lonely right now. And I got to tell myself a lot that I mean something sometimes. Because sometimes I get through those modes where I'm struggling and I'm like, my addiction tries to start coming out and telling me, hey, Chris, and I'm like, nope, I got to shut that down right away. And if I feel some type of way, I'll come on here and make a video now. That's what I could do. I could come on here and make a video, or I can read out of my books, or I can go write. Like, you got to find things to do. So if you start getting, this is another thing I can tell you. If you start getting a craving, go sit down and write. Go sit down and write. Go play on your phone. Go read a book. Like, find something to distract your brain. Go meditate. Go talk to God. Go pray. Find things when you're getting a craving for drugs and alcohol. Instead of just running out and using, find something more productive to do in that amount of time. And believe me, all of a sudden, eventually, in a couple of minutes or whatever, it'll pass. Like, the cravings pass. I get cravings once in a while, and I do something to help me to pass the time so they go away. Cravings pass. They go away. You just have to find something to replace that craving at that time. So, yeah, man, like, life and recovery is beautiful. And the more time you get in sobriety, the more you'll see it. The first 30 days, man, they're beautiful because it's the struggle of getting, in sobriety and getting it going. And you're like, man, like, you start feeling it, man. Like, I would say probably like the first 10 days you should start feeling like the love of recovery. But you're still going to struggle, I'm sure, a little bit because you're new to it. You're not used to, some of us aren't used to having love like that, especially from strangers. You go in a room with these strangers, we don't know them, and they're telling us they love us. They're hugging us, telling us to keep coming back. It works if you work it. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. What does that mean to you? Keep coming back. It works if you work it. If you work the program and you keep coming back, it'll work. That's what they mean, man. You got to keep coming back and you got to keep working it. And if you keep working it, man, it will get so much better. You're going to cry in meetings. You're going to laugh in meetings. You're going to get angry in meetings. You're going to get happy in meetings. There's all types of feelings you're going to have in meetings. Every time you go to a meeting, you're going to have some kind of feeling. It's part of meetings. And that's what's so great and loving about meetings. The feelings. Meetings are basically like going to a therapist, okay? And spilling your crap for an hour. Some meetings I went to meetings that were an hour and a half. Some were an hour and a half. There's longer meetings than an hour, but most are an hour. You get to go to a meeting for an hour, listen to other people's crap because they got to spill it. And then you can spill your crap and then no one judges you. You stand in a circle, hold hands, you say the prayers, you love each other, you help clean up and you leave. And maybe you go hang out with people after the meeting or you go home and you feel so much better. You get to go in a room and spit your crap that no one's ever going to say anything about because it's anonymity. So it has to stay in the rooms. And then you're going to get to feel better and you're going to still be sober. And you get to do that every day for the rest of your life. Like, what is not great about that? If you want to start a podcast, you can try. Maybe each podcast is what you need, or maybe you need to go on YouTube and make videos, or maybe you need to make TikToks, or maybe you just need to record yourself, or maybe you can write a book, or maybe, there's so many possibilities you could do with recovery too when you get sober. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. I'm excited I'm doing this. I can't wait to grow this more, and I will. Yeah, man, it's amazing. I can't wait to do more interviews though. Yeah. Can't wait to have people on and talk. I got another microphone. I got 2 table microphones now, and then I got this one. So I'll do the table ones. I'll probably shoot it somewhere else. My banner should be coming soon. my Crazy J's World banner. I can't wait I could put that on my green screen and then shoot it in my kitchen on my table. I think it look cool. I like the phone setup here. I got a little stand because I got a camera for my computer. My computer camera is not the best camera, so I bought an Acer computer camera, 4K one. The video is really good. I look green right now. I'm sorry. It's my lights in my room. I like the color green, so I use the green. My hoodie's green. And no, this thing's pretty cool, man. It's holding my phone right in front of me. And I got my Vocaster one thing plugged into my phone. I'm using my microphone, so it's picking up all the audio. And yeah, man, it's a cool setup. I want to do more though. I need a room to do it in, like not my bedroom. I'm gonna keep doing it here because this is the only place I could try to do it somewhere else in the house. You know, like my kids. I don't want my kids to interfere because I really want to do this, and I don't want them walking around when I'm recording or talking in the middle, and then it's on there. I'd have to go find and cut it out. At least in my room, I have privacy. I can talk. I can record it. This is actually one of my longest episodes. I think because I'm just in it. I want to help people. I want to have a voice of recovery, and I want people to want to listen to me. I'm excited to do this. Like, I'm actually excited to do this. There's a lot of people that are scared to get on and record themselves and put themselves online. It's true. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people out there that do record themselves because there's a lot of people that aren't. But there's a lot of people that are. I was scared of this too, man. I was scared to come on here and do this. I'm getting more comfortable now. It's taking time. It takes time to get comfortable. I'm a very sociable, outgoing person, like at work and stuff. I'm always talking, like I'm always joking. That's me. And I've always been like that. You know, alcohol and drugs took that away from me, man. It made me a mean person that hurt people and stole and all this stuff that I don't have to be like that today. And I ain't like that today. I don't have to be. And I thank my higher power for giving me this chance that I have and giving me this opportunity to make a podcast and come on and talk to you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Yeah, it's over an hour, so I'll probably end it in a minute because, you know, it's going to be a long one. I didn't want to bore people. Remember, the first 30 days, man, is to me personally, I think it's the hardest. You got to go to meetings as much as you can. You got to be around recovery. That's the best advice I can give you. The day you get sober, the first day of your sobriety, start putting yourself around recovery and the people in recovery, not the old people. People, place, and things. You got to change all that. You got to change everything about your life or recovery won't work. It's just how it is. Because if you keep crap in your life when you're sober, it's going to take over your sobriety and you're going to have crap again that you didn't want, you didn't think you'd ever have again. Remember that. Life can get so much better. You can make your recovery. It can happen. So yeah, I'm gonna end this episode. I'm gonna end with the serenity prayer. And I just want to tell everybody I love them. And please like, comment, subscribe, and share on YouTube. Check me on Spotify. I'm gonna try to learn how to edit better. I want to pop stuff on my screen. Like I want my computer to start working so I can keep doing this on my computer. My phone was fine though. It's cool doing it on my phone. I like it. It's not bad. But yeah, you know. Remember, you matter. I love you. God loves you. Recovery loves you. Love yourself. You can love yourself. You have to learn. Sometimes we have to learn how to re-love ourselves. Sometimes we're so damaged and banged up that it takes time to love ourselves. You can absolutely love yourself. You matter. You always matter. You belong here until your time is up. When God decides that, not you. You have to accomplish things. There's reasons you're still here. Remember that. God loves you. Recovery loves you. I love you. Yes. I don't know you, but I love you. Hope that helps you. I love you today. You're loved today. Remember that. All right. I'm going to end with the serenity prayer, and I appreciate whoever listens to this. Thank you so much. I want more people to hear me. I got a bunch of time. I'm going to get more. So I'm going to keep going, man. This is just the beginning of Crazy J's world. Yeah, it is. I'm going to keep it up, baby. We're going to keep this party going. All right. So God, grant me the serenity. Grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Get that serenity prayer down. It's really good. All right. So God bless everybody. And I hope you all have a good rest of your night. And thank you if you check out my video. All right. Peace out. And bye. Have a good night.